Hello and welcome to Kids Nutrition and Picky Eating. I'm Dr. Lum. Thank you for joining me today. So, today I'll be answering a common question. What are some high protein containing foods that picky eaters would generally accept? So, if you have a picky eater who turns their head up, their nose up to everything, especially when it comes to the protein containing foods that you offer, you want to stick around for I have some options for you. Why protein? Several things. Protein is one of the essential nutrients that are great for their development, whether it's their muscle development, immune function, and brain development. And secondly, protein keeps our kids and everybody fuller for an extended period of time, a bit longer than what the high carbohydrate diets will do. So, for example, a kid who takes more so like just a plain cereal for breakfast that is high in sugars and carbs, they may have that high where they're bouncing around, just full of energy, and then there's that crash because they have a low not too long after that, and then they're kind of moody and craving more carbs. So when they eat it, they're back bouncing up and then low. So you have a kid who, if their diet is strictly that carb diet that is full of sugars, they're bouncing off the walls and then they're coming back craving for more snacks. They want more snacks. I'm hungry, I want more snacks. And then they get the snacks and they're up and down. So protein comes in where it helps to balance that somewhat, where they're fuller for an extended period of time and we're carving or at least curbing those highs and lows where it's not to the extreme. So if you have one of those kids, let's talk about what then you can do or what are the options to add proteins in what they're eating. Well, before I get started, so that means if you have a kid who likes breakfast for as a cereal as itself is not a complete breakfast option because then it's full of those sugars. You may want to find something that is high in fat to kind of fats or protein to kind of balance out those highs and lows. So as we talk about those options and how to add those, you want to start thinking about how you can modify your kids' breakfast or lunch or dinner to help reduce those constant cravings where your kid is either high, low, or constantly coming back for snacks. I want snacks all day, and then your kids ends up eating mostly snacks. So the first option I'll talk about is dairy-based options. Then these we're talking dairy like milk. So we forget that milk has proteins in it. So more the whole or 2% milk options they have protein in it. Greek yogurt is a great option. I do like Greek yogurt, and I typically will recommend buying it plain as opposed to flavored. Then you can add the right amount of sugar, so whatever amount of sugar. So you're kind of controlling the amount of sugar that you're introducing then at that time where it's sweet but not too sweet. And you can also add granola in there or ground flax seeds or whatever it is to make it a yogurt parfait. And that has not only the protein, it has that you can add to make it where you have a healthy fat option and some fiber in there for your kid who is really very picky and refuses to eat anything that has fiber in it. Those are the dairy based options. Or finally, cheeses. You can easily have those mozzarella cheese sticks or other cheese sticks that are easy to carry along, easy as snacks where they can easily peel it off and kind of eat on the cheese where it's mostly dairy and you have protein in there, and some of them will have the healthy fat options there too. Now, the second category I'm going to talk about is eggs. Eggs have proteins in it, so you can do it either scrambled eggs, you can have scrambled eggs mixed in stir fried rice or whatever your kid will eat, or you can have it boiled and have it just chopped or in cubes and stuff and have your kids explore them too. Or you can make the egg and cheese or even add some veggies in there if you're doing like an omelet style egg option for breakfast. Third category then that I'm going to talk about is adding the proteins then in a smoothie. So if you have a kid who will drink smoothies, you can add that Greek yogurt in a smoothie. You can add so many things in there. You can even add a protein powder in a smoothie where you are not just serving them a fruit smoothie, but they have that protein powder in there that will boost that protein content in there. You can add the Greek yogurt, like I said, in there to make it where it is more rounded, where it's not just a fruit or not just a veggie, but you're adding some protein powders to make that increase or boost that protein content. Other options for adding in meals is if you're doing, let's say, pancakes or waffles, or you're doing anything that has batter in it, using like an almond flour and adding protein powder again in your recipes will help to boost where you're now confident that, yes, my kid had pancakes this morning, but in that pancake you use either an almond butter or you've added some protein powder in there where the kid is now getting the protein in through the pancakes or the waffles. Nut butters are really good too because you can use those as dips as well. Where if it's like for a snack, PB&J sandwich, that's a snack. Or you can have either peanut butter or nut butter with crackers. That's a good option where you're balancing once more again that carb with a protein to help curve those highs and lows and get them full a bit longer. Or you can have it with a slice of apple. Those are all protein options. So we're thinking about with every meal, with every snack, how can we maximize how much protein we're offering with every time they're taking a bite, so to speak. Or you can have high protein bars, but with those, you want to make sure that you're paying attention to the sugar content in those, because sometimes they'll say it's healthy, it's protein bars, but they are very full of sugars and stuff. So those are some options that you can really use to add protein. So as you go through your day, as you're buying snack options, as you're looking at dips and stuff, you want to be mindful of what kind of dips you're introducing. Now, there are also some alternatives where when it comes to meat, sometimes we focus on meats as the only source of proteins. Of course, chicken nuggets have high in proteins too. Making your own chicken nuggets as opposed to the store-bought options, because then you're controlling what kind of oils you're using or not, because you can air fry it these days or bake it where you are having it looking the same, but you're making it different because you're adding herbs, you're using the good oil options as opposed to the highly oxidative oils that are used out there. A lot of kids who really don't like the beef itself, but they'll eat those tiny meatballs and mini-sized meatballs, which could be beef or turkey based meatballs and stuff. And you can have it where they have a tiny meatballs that they can easily pick and they can dip it if your kid is one who likes the dips and stuff, where you can even dip it in ketchup. That's absolutely okay. Or you can have thinly shredded chicken options in their mac and cheese for kids who would eat mac and cheese. But then again, if you're not changing the look of it, but it's just slightly shredded chicken in there in the mac and cheese, that blends very nicely with it, and it's a good way to add proteins or boost the protein content in that too. As always, whichever one you decide to start with, you want to make it fun. Some kids like to be involved. Once they see you in the process, involve them in tasting it and giving you feedback. That usually goes a long way to help them become familiar with those foods that you're trying to get them to eat, and release yourself from the pressure and expectation of them to take a bite and say, oh, I like it. So we're offering it without pressure. We're making it fun, and we are eating it in front of them to model how to eat these foods, so to speak, because we're teaching them how to eat. So if you found these tips helpful, let me know. As always, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and get other mothers to in on this journey with us so we can help our kids get the essential nutrients they need to grow and thrive. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm Dr. Lum.